fact that
I
the
like
biggest ones can weigh
turtles.
200.
New Hood Nature, why this baby shower will scar you for life, man. Viewer discretion is advised, I'm
Video was
assuming.
sponsored by Omaze. Hyenas are one of the dominant predators in all of Africa.
Yeah, they're
They also have
badass
a
as
childhood
fuck,
that makes
too.
me think someone upstairs had some very real beef with the doormat of Lion King. And it's one of those things where the more you look at it, the worse it gets. So, let's talk about it. Let's talk about why if you start the game of life as a hyena, you might be better off uninstalling. Now, hyenas are special in that they're one of the few carnivores that are born with their eyes open. In comparison, lion cubs are born Stevie wondering about the world around them. And wolf pups can't see or hear for the first 2 weeks of their existence.
Damn,
and unlike
bruh.
other carnivores, hyena cubs' muscles are ready to go as soon as they come out. The problem is hyena cubs are also born with a full set of sharp teeth and a full intent to use them. Because the moment hyena cubs are born, they'll immediately start running phase with their siblings.
What?
And this isn't that cute Discovery Channel play fighting kind of thing. Nah, they're actively trying to become an only child in the worst way possible. It's so
Bro,
bad that 1
hello?
in every 4 hyena cubs born get Mufasa before they ever leave the den. 1 in 4. I want you to remember that number. It's going to be important later.
Bro, what?
It's the female cubs that are the most homicidal, because female cubs are flushed with higher levels of testosterone than the males. And since hyena society is feminism on steroids, a female cub that flatlines her own sister has one less rival to worry about down the road. Which is why when hyenas start life, it is literally, and I know this word gets abused, but it is literally on sight. In some occasions, older cubs will
That
gang
makes
up on
sense,
the weaker
though,
sibling
but
and then
holy
turn them
shit,
into past
man.
tense while the mother's not paying attention. And to somehow make it worse, because it always does, the mother hyena's milk is actually
Bro.
really high in nutrients. Now, why would that be a problem? Unlike lions and wild dogs, mother hyenas can actually afford to leave their cubs alone for several days, even up to a week to go hunt, since the cubs can live off the milk. Leaving these murder mongooses unsupervised means a tired mother can come back from a long hunt only to find out one of her cubs got turned into a hashtag by one of its siblings. And that's why for every 3 cute hyena pictures you find on Google, there's a cub that didn't live long enough to get its picture taken because it got put in a pack by its own sister. And that's assuming it survived the jihad of being born.
Damn,
knew.
the more you know.
You knew this was coming.
The
Because
more
female
you know,
hyenas
man.
have a... I'ma call it a Richard. You know, because Richard's short for... Yeah, you get it. They have a pseudo-Richard that is really just an oversized, it's obliterous. Do you see what guidelines makes me do? The only problem is the obliterous gets obliterated since the hyena birthing process involves splitting the Richard in half. Not only is it a living hell for the mother, something like 60% of firstborn hyena cubs suffocate inside the mother's giant blitz. And the fact that that right there was a completely factual sentence tells me that nature has a very personal prejudice towards them. But at least with Squid Game,
Bro,
they can catch prize at the
what?
end. With them, the only thing they win is the right to keep living. Actually, now that I think about it,
Wait, so 60% of them, so... Bro, hello? And then you gotta take away... Oh my
that's
god.
kind of the whole point of Squid Game. What do you even do
Jesus.
with all that money? Like if someone hands you $100,000, no strings attached, what would be your first move? Well, you could invest in an index fund, open up a retirement savings account, do the whole
Or
401k thing.
hashtag
Well,
ad.
if you were responsible, you probably would. I would just dip out to Tanzania and go on a month-long safari to watch Animal Planet in real life. But that's just me.
I would turn that 100K into $1 million, however the fuck I can.
As a person.
I'd go
Anyway, you
give
do
it to
have the
smart
opportunity to
people
win
and have them do it for
$100,000
me.
and use
Fuck it.
Any way you want. Any way you want that's legal. Omaze gives one-of-a-kind prizes and experiences while also donating
Oh,
money to
hashtag
chosen
ad.
charities
Here
all
it is.
across the world. Which means the nonprofits they support can spend less time, effort, and hair follicles.
Go use Omaze, or go... Yeah, go use Omaze, guys.
Them help at-risk youth. Well, at-risk human youth. These guys start life very much at risk, but there's no helping them. Which is why hyena cubs come out the womb ready for war. But hyenas are not the only animals born on malicious timing. But probably no animal takes sibling rivalry worse than sharks. You remember
Damn,
Finding
really?
Nemo? Of course you do, because there's no way in hell I'm that old. So you probably remember these 3 sharks. You got Bruce the Great Caucasian, Anchor the Hammerhead, and Chum is actually a mako shark. But 2 out of 3 of them are probably cannibals. Because great white and mako sharks first learn how to hunt inside the mother, and they do this by swimming around the uterus and eating their less developed brothers and sisters. So even though they can technically have up to 20 siblings, they do everything in their power to make sure they come out the first and only born. And of course, they're not the only ones that spawn camp their own kind.
Bro,
Sand tiger sharks actually
hello?
have 2 uteri, and both will produce a whole mess of eggs. But in the end, only 2 pups are born, 1 from each uterus. That's because the first Bundy fetus to develop will eat all the embryos in his mother's womb while taking out any unfertilized eggs as a twisted dessert. By the time the sand shark is officially a part of the census, it's already 3 feet long thanks to a diet of his brothers and sisters. There's even a name for this friendly fire, and it's adelphophagy, which literally translates to eating one's brother. And you wanna
Bro,
know how we even
Jesus
found this
fucking
out?
Christ.
A veteran shark researcher was examining a very much pregnant sand tiger when he reached his hand inside her, as one does. only to be bitten by the unborn baby shark inside. I don't even know how you recover from something like that. After he likely questioned every life decision that brought him there, with cameras he took a look inside where he found a shark pup turning his entire bloodline into a buffet. But just like hyenas, there's a reason for this. And the answer is female sharks are typically more run through than a yellow light. Which is why just one shark litter can have multiple fathers. Which basically means one batch of baby sharks can have up to 5 other sharks that help contribute. And since the goal is to make sure no one else's genes succeed except yours, the strongest shark will erase all his step-siblings from the census before they're even old enough to have a name to put on it. Which is why
he
most
didn't have
sharks
to
are
show
born with a
sharks
body
just
count. And also why
fucking
this guy
right there.
never met his father.
Just
But out of all
saying.
animals, it's usually the birds that are the ones, that are the ones, Jesus.
Yeah.
4 years and a degree and I still can't speak English. Birds are the ones racking up the most friendly fires right out the
Birds
gate.
get
And
wrecked.
the best example is this Jurassic Park understudy that is definitely gonna harass
Bro,
you.
Monka
Now, full
S.
disclosure, the shoebill stork isn't dangerous to people. In fact, they tolerate humans more than most birds. They're a fan
Yeah, but
favorite for
still.
bird watchers because they'll allow humans to get close to their nests without throwing a fit. And for a dinosaur whose scientific name is
That's
literally
literally
T-Rex,
a
are only a
dinosaur.
threat if you're like a fish or something. In fact, the only thing that should really be afraid of a shoebill is a smaller, younger shoebill. Because the stronger, older shoebill will beat, bully, and bludgeon the weaker little brother into oblivion. And unlike hyenas who will often try to break up the fights, the sadistic shoebill parents will often watch and even encourage this behavior. The parents will
Jesus
only feed the
Christ.
strongest chick and will often refuse to acknowledge the existence of the other. In fact, the weaker chick's only purpose in life is to be a backup in case something happens to the first. That's all they are in their eyes, a plan B. Plan A stands for abort, because that's basically what they do to the beta chick that they refuse to waste resources on. All while getting actively griefed by its own nest mate. Just look at how they're looking at him. They're done with his shit. So as the
Bro,
older chick gets
Jesus
stronger and hogs all
Christ,
the
this shit
attention,
is dark.
the Luigi of the two just gets weaker and weaker until eventually dies of a broken heart. And probably brain damage. Not to mention the whole dehydration starvation thing. But getting his skull caved in definitely doesn't help, because shoebill isn't just a name, they really got it on him. Also, random fact, shoebills often decapitate their prey.
Bro!
Yet nothing about it's pretty. Unconditional love might sound cute, but in nature it's very, very much conditional. And if the terms and conditions aren't met, the runt gets terminated. I still can't get over this picture. I don't know if they know English, but they definitely know the word pathetic. Yeah, that
Pathetic,
unconditional love
wow.
thing, it's a lie. But what's also a lie is that shoebill storks aren't even real storks. This animatronic-looking paralysis demon is actually a part of the pelicaniform order, which puts this
So he's a
Five
part
Nights
of
at
a
Freddy's
pelican.
looking-ass bird in the same family reunion as pelicans. Makes
Damn.
sense, they got a lot in common. I don't trust either based strictly off their appearance. Same soul-sapped eyes, same murder weapon of a beak, whatever fresh hell this is supposed to be. And the same
Bro.
pure disregard for the well-being of anything
You're fucking
related to them.
terrifying.
First of all, I already don't trust
Look at those
pelicans
creepy
off
little
principle.
things.
Something about
Bro, he had a
pelicans
duck
just
in his
being brought up
mouth.
The half-digested corpses of recently unalive baby birds makes me seriously question their place in the natural order. Watch this video if you didn't get that. But of course, pelican chicks are on the same timing as a shoebill. It's the same story where the stronger and meaner of the two testicle swans will beat the gizzards off the weaker sibling. Sometimes while the pelican parents disregard the bullied baby and refuse to give them anything. You remember Everybody Hates Chris, aka my televised autobiography? Then you'll remember Mr. Krabs reincarnated as a black father of 3. There's a scene where the kids are hungry, so Julius says they'll get McDonald's and the youngest can have the fries, the middle child can get the burger, and Chris, of course, gets a drink. With ice. It's pretty much the same thing here, except the pelican chick
Damn,
gets no
bruh.
ice, the parental neglect is cold enough. And even though they technically encourage it, at least the pelican parents don't actively get involved in the physical bullying. Some parents cut out the middleman completely and just yeet the weakest chick out the nest completely. This poor
Bro!
chick was evicted from its nest by its own mother for the unforgivable crime of not being good enough. Not big enough, not strong enough, not worth giving a fornication under consent of the king about enough. It's survival of the fittest, and there
It's
is
like
no one for
waiting.
participating. If a
Bro,
stork sees a
are
chick
you
that's not worth the
fucking
effort, she'll take
kidding
him out
me?
herself, often by breaking his neck. But since the mother doesn't
Oh
really have
my
the tools to end
fucking
her child's
God.
misery quickly, it's easier and less energy to just send them free falling out the nest altogether. It's cruel, but it means the parents can focus their attention and resources on the children that actually have a chance to succeed at life. Somewhere a middle child just shed a single silent tear. It's why this is a way of life for most birds, some sharks, damn near all hyenas, and this thing. This wasp is a murderous psychopath that does what hyenas do but puts it on a perk. Like no exaggeration, this might be the worst of them all. It all starts
Damn,
with
for real? I mean,
floridinum. It's a
Let's be real, I don't give a fuck if a wasp dies, but yeeting those birds out the nest was pretty fucking horrific. Like, oh my god.
parasite that injects its eggs
I don't
into a
give no fuck
non-consenting
about
host
this.
caterpillar. And there's 2 eggs, one
Wait,
male,
what?
one female. But that doesn't just mean one brother and one sister. That would just make too much sense. Instead, the eggs clone themselves through a process called polyembryony, and when it's all said and done, there could be up to 300, oh, me, that's a comma, 3,000 larvae. And just for the record, the caterpillar is very much alive for all this. Now here's where it gets dark. While still inside the caterpillar, the brothers will actually fertilize the sisters. The problem is there's hundreds if not thousands of them, and you only really need one or two to fertilize them all. The rest are basically competition for the same resource, which is why some of the sisters are much bigger, much meaner, and equipped with a pair of jaws. These super soldiers go around murking and eating as many of the brothers as possible, as in they instinctively seek them out and slaughter them, with very little if any discrimination. And these sister soldiers have no reproductive organs at all, meaning their only purpose in life, as in the only
is
reason
to
they
murder
exist,
shit.
is to make sure most of the brothers don't.
Holy
and the reason is because
fuck.
this mass male genocide means less competition in the future. There's only so much caterpillar to go around. Speaking of which, the caterpillar still has a pulse during all this, so he's the real victim here. And once again, since you only need a few males to keep the population numbers up, the cannibal sister soldiers just murder anything male on sight. Yeah, all of a sudden hyenas don't have it that bad. Imagine having a big sister whose primary purpose in life is making sure you don't have one. And once these sibling assassins finally end their kill streak, their life contract does not get renewed, they die as well. 'Cause at the end of the day, if men ain't was an animal, it would be this hell hornet. Yeah, that seems like a good note to end on. Thanks again to Omates for sponsoring this video. Make sure to like and subscribe and all the little things I'm supposed to remind you to do at the end of literally every single video, even though you're well aware of it being an option. I don't get why that's a thing. I have never subscribed to a channel just because someone told me to do it.
True. But go subscribe to Casual Geographic, man. Goddamn, what a good-ass video, bro. Holy shit.